we can take a couple minutes here. This is going to be an 8-lap race. We'll keep you updated on this. You can see it on there as well. But we didn't keep track of Pike all the time, and we kept saying, can Pike do it? Pike has won the 4x1. Pike had runners finished 1 and 3 in the 200. They ran very well in the 100, and here we are. We said, oh, it might come down to the 4x4. We were right, but it's not Warren Central and Lawrence Central. We said it's going to come down to two. We said it's going to come down to 2 Indianapolis schools. We were right, but it wasn't Lawrence North and Lawrence Central. It's going to be Pike and Lawrence Central. Lawrence Central's up by 2 points now, heading into the 4x4. It's all going to come down to this. Pike is seeded 7th. Lawrence Central is seeded 6th. Lawrence Central, don't count them out if they can come up with something miraculous here down the stretch. So what we've been waiting for the last few weeks is shaping up, and Pike is going to ride their 3 horses maybe to the state championship. As Brianna Johnson, the pre-race favorite, out to the early lead. And here comes, I believe, Maddie Webster of Brownsburg. We've got all our runners right here. Here's an interesting side story to this, Steve. You picked Waverly Near as they come through in a little quick. No, not too quick, though, 78 seconds. You picked Waverly Near. The rest of the staff picked Brianna Johnson. Waverly Near has run the 1600. But listen to this. Brianna Johnson, certainly the favorite coming in, has run 14 seconds faster than anyone else in the state. Second best time was her teammate, Kaylee McClanahan, has run 11 flat. Danny Sullivan, right there as well, has run 11:02. And then Kirsten Deerdorf, also among one of the medalists. All of these girls had chances to run on their team's 4x8. Your kind of pre-race favorites are in the pack. Brianna Johnson is in there. It says it's 85 on the track. It doesn't feel like 85, but Maddie Webster. Maddie won the indoor state championship over 3,200 meters, outkicked Lacey Pierce of Crown Point. She's going out very fast, 3:22 through 1,000 meters.
A little ahead of the game here. Here's the awards for the 200-meter dash. In the finals, in 9th was Logan
Have we announced these yet?
Warren Central.
Have we announced the 9 All-Staters?
In 8th, in a time of 25.79.
All right, and we are going to go through the top 9, or the 9 scorers from that 200 heat. This is huge. In 9th was Logan Hayes. IHSAA Energy. It looks like it. 25-0, 9th place, 1 point. Letitia Martin of Warren Central. We already knew was out of Energy. Got 8th.
Those are the
Oh, my bad. 25-8 and then 25-7. Tiara Reed of Hammond in 7th. Jasmine Milton of Fort Wayne Northrop in 6th. Shannon Parker of Warren Central in 5th. That was our highest score in that. Avante Newsome Gunn in 4th of South Bend, Washington. Lauren, a sophomore, running away in 24-4.
So Warren, here are the team scores heading into the last event. Pike has 40, surprise. We're here. Warren Central has 36. Lawrence Central has 34, but this is without the pole vault. So really, heading into the 4x4, here are your team scores. Lawrence Central, 42. Pike, 40. Warren Central, 36. All of those teams are still mathematically in it. Warren's going to need some help. They're going to have to finish
Warren will have
at least.
to run huge. And it doesn't look like with how Hayes is running, how Martin's running, I don't think they're going to be able to pull off a miracle.
Warren is going to have to finish at least 6th and hope that Lawrence Central doesn't score any points,
Right.
and then Pike scores minimally. Lawrence North is probably going to win, but they're out of it. They're not going to be able to finish. They could maybe get up for 2nd. That is a possibility. They cannot win the team championship. And as we come down now at the mile, your leader, Danny Sullivan of Franklin Central, they're going to come through the mile in about 5 minutes and 28 seconds. So certainly a manageable pace.
Yes.
Where Brianna Johnson has run 10:46. That's 5:23 back-to-back. So she's actually off that pace a little bit. She did the same thing last week, held back, and blistered the last 2 laps. You got to think that they're kind of wondering where she is. We got Sullivan, and it's hard to see down there on the backstretch where everybody is. The uniforms are kind of together. I can tell you Waverly Near's in there. Kaylee McClanahan's in there. Kirsten Deerdorf of Carroll is in there. Looking for Jessica Richardson actually a little bit farther back. The pack's starting to spread out. We've got 7 runners. Maybe that is 8 actually. 8 runners in the lead pack right now, more than halfway through the race. Is it helpful at this point, do you think, to kind of be conserved in the pack, to be in there rather than Near or some of those other girls like Near and Sullivan at the front, or does it even matter?
I think at this point, I mean, it's great to be sitting right behind them. I mean, most of these girls that are up there actually have a fairly comfortable pace. They're able to kind of sit there and watch everyone. They're going to be able to make their move. Now, what they do have to be aware of is if one of those two girls in the front, looks like Sullivan might actually be working on right now, makes their move, they've all got to respond. If you give one of these athletes 3 or 4 seconds to put their move on, you don't respond until later, it could be too late.
Right, you are, Steve.
Right now, it looks like Danny is going to put her move in. She's been a very consistent front runner in the state, but has never come away with the title, never been a real threat to win the title, and right now she's finally making a statement here.
Steve's exactly right. Danny Sullivan's starting to make a move. The pack's starting to splinter. Right with her is, I believe that's McClanahan of Carroll. Johnson still in the mix. Payonk, I believe that's Payonk, running outside in lane 2. You know, if you run one curve in lane 2, not a big deal. If you're doing it continually over 8 laps, that's going to start to hurt. 700 meters now, Sullivan putting her mark on the race. And we're really starting to drop the hammer here. It's Sullivan in the lead.
There's
McClanahan there as well. Payonk, Johnson, and Waverly near. Lacey Pierce holding on to the back end 6, holding on for dear life. 600 meters to go. Sullivan putting on a move, but
it's not a winning move yet, though. She hasn't pulled away. She got rid of one out of that whole group. That's not going to be enough for her.
It's a kicker's race here. We got
Waverly's
2 girls from Carroll in it, and now we're down to, it looks like 3 runners down the home stretch. 4 runners, I'm sorry. Johnson, Sullivan, McClanahan, and we're going to have to check the hip number on here. I believe it's Dana Payonk of Lake Central now in the lead. Check that hip number, Steve. 7.
We have 7, 1, and 5.
Who's 7? 1 lap to go. 7 is Brianna Johnson. 1 is Clayton McKenna. Kirsten Deerdorf. So actually all 3 Carroll girls in the mix. 3 runners from Carroll. No, that's 7 right there.
Okay, I can't read numbers.
Okay, we're having some trouble identifying everybody here. Charging to the front now is Brianna Johnson. It is Dana Payonk. Johnson to the front. McClanahan right behind her. Sullivan on it as well. Payonk still in the mix. The 2 teammates from Carroll. 1, 2 down the backstretch. Johnson.
Sullivan's reeling in.
Yep. They've broken away now. Payonk is off. It's down to these 3. Johnson, McClanahan, Sullivan. 220 meters to go. Payonk's going to hold on for 4th. Near's going to end up 5th. Pierce in 6th. And it's the 2 teammates from Carroll going to battle down to the home stretch. McClanahan's making her move with 150 meters to go. She's pulling away. It's McClanahan. Johnson. Sullivan's coming as well. McClanahan down the home stretch. 100 meters left. She's going to win it, Steve. A shocking upset. McClanahan of Carroll.
McClanahan, would it be safe to say, overshadowed
at
Carroll. Very overshadowed name. And she's going to come away as a state champion today. Can we verify? Have you been called the wrong name?
I think that's Deerdorf. An athlete from Fort Wayne Carroll's going to win.
Okay, Colin is from Fort Wayne.
We're doing our best. I haven't lived there for 4 years. Johnson 2nd. Sullivan's 3rd. Dana Payonk is going to be 4th.
Marcus Worth here with Kaylee McClanahan, senior, for Fort Wayne Carroll, winner of the 3,200 meters. And we were just spoken a few moments ago. You're really excited about winning the state championship.
Yeah, I haven't won a race all season when I've run against my teammate, Brianna. She's I've won when she hasn't been running, but every time we've run together, she's beat me. So to get my first win of the season and at the state meet, I'm trying to figure out if it's real or not.
That's pretty remarkable. That's pretty remarkable. Now, did you have a strategy going into this race?
From running off of Brianna, I knew she was the #1 seed, and by a good amount of time. So I've been running with her all year. So my strategy was just to stick with her through the whole race, and I knew she had a kick. So if I was going to go, I had to be before the final 400.
That's what it looked like. It seemed like a four-girl sprint there at the end, and then kind of that final turn, you took the lead. What was going through your mind when you started to pull away from the pack?
I didn't really know how big the group of people was right there, and I knew Brianna had just come up beside me, and so I just went. I don't even know. There wasn't really much thought. I just knew if I was going to go for it, I couldn't wait around.
Now you mentioned Brianna Johnson finished 2nd. What's that like to have one of your teammates finish right behind you in a state championship meet?
We talked about, we can go 1-2. We can go 1-2 all season. Then our other teammate, Kirsten Deerdorf, we all 3 made it here. So we talked about all 3 of us medaling and how amazing that would be. And we get rings for 1st and 2nd at our school. So to do that is just amazing.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you so much.